All right, shalom, shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Radash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, the men, the women, and the children who follow. So, we got another video coming back at you, Lord. Well, this is going to be edifying. Putting the pieces back together for Nate, man. Going through this video is 4 hours. And he did get some stuff right. I'm not saying it's completely off, but it's a good 65 to 70% off. So, I know you may have seen, you may not have seen, other brothers doing videos, doing lessons on, on basically, like I said, cleaning up his mess, So, that's what we're here to do, and Lord is going to be edifying. And with that being said, we're going to start the video.
No. Okay, there's no words. That's one of 59 mosques in Gaza that they destroyed purposely. Purposely. Now, watch this. Give me Daniel 8:23. We touched on this last night. Daniel 8:23.
Daniel chapter 8, verse 23. And in the latter time.
When?
In the latter time.
When?
In the latter time.
So when y'all teaching, you want to preface it by highlighting that in the latter times. Go ahead.
And in the.
But see, what he does, he doesn't give any context. He wants you to say, when you're teaching, highlight. It's talking about the latter time, brother. It's talking about the latter time. How could it be talking about 2,500 years ago when it says the latter times? But how are the scriptures written and perceived? Line upon line. You got it?
That's going to now. Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 29.
Speak up, brother.
It's Isaiah chapter 29, and I'm starting at verse 9. It says, Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
Right. So precept upon precept. So he's just jumping right into the middle of the breakdown. All right. To get the full understanding, especially something like Daniel 8, you got to start at the beginning. He's just jumping in it to make the scripture say what he wants it to say, so to speak. And someone who is new or naive or, may not have came across the scripture yet, to them, when you say the latter time, yeah, you would definitely be thinking that it's talking about in these times. But it's not. We're going to get into it, but I'm going to let him speak a little bit.
The latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance.
A king of fierce countenance. This is Babylon the Great. Go ahead.
And understand.
It's not speaking about Babylon the Great, but because he jumps in the middle and says the latter times, he can take it there.
Dark sentences.
And understanding dark sentences. Talking about the Bible is the dark sentences. Read it again, read it again, read it again, read it again.
And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance.
So that king of fierce countenance begins with Babylon the Great, which includes the Pope. It includes the super elites of the society, the Rothschilds, for example. They're all included in that. That's the super global elites. Not your regular peon whites. They don't know a damn thing. Read it again.
And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up.
Go ahead.
And his power shall be mighty.
His power shall be mighty. His technology shall be mighty. Go ahead.
But not by.
And if you didn't know any better, you would think that he's on point because it sounds good, but Nate is really good at twisting the scriptures. Like I was talking with the brother the other day, and I mentioned in my previous video, either he knows what he's doing and he's purposely twisting the scriptures, or he's completely gone. But it's definitely one or the other.
Definitely one or the other.
You had something, bro?
Quick precept.
Yeah.
Not to get too much off topic. 2 Timothy 3:5 says, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. For of this sort are they which creep into houses, and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. And if I made a point that I wanted to bring in, like the brother said, if you didn't know any better, if let's say you're a newcomer, you hear, because we've heard about latter days, you heard about knowledge being increasing in the latter days, being the technology and things of that nature. But like the brother said, if you correlate that like Nate is with Daniel the 8th chapter, you're gonna fall for it. You're naive. You lead. Pretty much what you're doing in this case is you're leading people in a direction of the wrong way, bro. I just wanted to get that for that reason.
Con. So what we gonna do? He said his piece. Mm-hmm. No, hold on. Do we want to play it till you get to the revelation?
Yeah, we can let it.
All right.
His own power.
Not by his own power. Hold on. Give me the precept, Yuri. Hold that. Revelation 13.
Yep.
I forgot the verse, but 2 to 3. Thank you.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard,
Mm-hmm.
and
He
his
took
feet,
elements from ancient Greece. Go ahead.
and his feet were as the feet of a bear,
Mm-hmm. He took elements from ancient Persia, Media.
and his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
Yeah, he took elements from ancient Babylon.
What does that even mean? He took elements from. Did he like get some dirt from ancient Persia, some air from Media, some water from the Greeks? Come on, what does that even mean? He took elements from it.
Mm-hmm.
And the dragon gave him his power.
Who gave him his powers, brothers? That's the devil. That's the devil. That's the devil. The literal. I'm talking about the spiritual demon, Satan. Except A, E equals MC squared. E equals MC squared. Put these elements together, you could create an atom bomb.
So is that the elements that he took from? Because when you're making things up or when you're just shooting from the hip, there's holes in the story, and you can't be specific. You have to be vague. You have to be vague and say, "Well, he took elements from it." What does that mean? If I'm in IUIC and I listen to this breakdown and I go teach on the street and I'm teaching this scripture, Revelation 13, get it for me, Baba Washai.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1. It says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
Yeah, and he took elements like from one kingdom and elements. Like, how would you break that down? Someone would say, well, what elements did he take?
Right.
You wouldn't be able to tell anybody what elements were taken.
But see, that's the thing, is what we notice is a lot, like these individuals that follow Nate, they don't ask questions. They blindly follow whatever you say. Because like you said, a man of understanding. Like the scriptures tell you that in Proverbs. It says that the prudent, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. You're gonna ask questions like, what do you mean the elements?
We're all like get understanding.
Get understanding.
So he's completely off. But in the instance, let's say he was right, he didn't give any clarity. So now you can only be a mockingbird. you can't understand it fully for yourself and be able to teach someone because he just gave you the fishing pole with the fish already on the hook.
Right. Right. Right.
But it's too nasty, Nate. We gonna get into it.
They tell you how to tie the knot, how to hook the worm or nothing. Just hump.
Right here.
So
Yeah, let's get into Daniel.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 3. It says, "Then I lifted up mine eyes."
Because, like I said, in order to understand Daniel 8, you have to start up. Now, for time's sake, we're not going to read the whole chapter, but we're going to give you what you need to fully understand it. Go ahead.
This is Daniel 8, verse 3. "Then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns."
Right. It said a ram that had 2 horns. The 2 horns represent 2 kingdoms, the Medo-Persian Empire, okay, the Medes and the Persians. Okay, go ahead.
"And the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last."
Right, and the higher horn is the Persians, which came up last, and they were stronger than the than the Medes. Okay, go ahead.
"I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward."
Right, so that's the Medo-Persian Empire expanding, taking over lands, and growing. Go ahead.
"So that no beast might stand before him, neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand. But he did according to his will and became great.
Con.
And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground."
Right, so it says a he-goat. That he-goat is Alexander. Okay, and it says that he touched not the ground because Alexander conquered very swiftly. Okay, his whole he was 33 when he died, and he started at like 17, and he conquered pretty much the whole quote known world at that time. Go ahead.
"And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power."
And what does that mean? It's talking about the Greeks taking down the Medo-Persian Empire. If you watch the movie Alexander, you'll watch him chasing down, I believe it's Darius. All right, chasing him down, killing him, and then they did what? They took over their area. They took over Babylon. His empire is more vast than the Medo-Persian Empire. All right, this has nothing to do with America. Nothing to do with America at all. Go ahead, Baba Bashar.
It says, "And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was."
Yeah. Go ahead.
It says, verse 7. It says, "And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns."
Right. That choler just goes into a hatred, a strong hatred. All right. Alexander, he didn't like Darius. He wanted to take him down. He wanted to be the man. Matter of fact, I believe Alexander saw chariots, and basically the Lord spoke to Alexander and told him that he was gonna rule the world. Pretty much, he was gonna be that dude, and that's why Alexander himself, he treated the Israelites fair, but not so much after him. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. But it was meant to be. It was all set up by the Lord. Okay.
It says, I'll read 7 again. It says, "And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns, and there was no power in the ram to stand before him. But he cast him down to the ground, and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand."
So that's basically the Greeks, the Grecian Empire, okay, taking down the Medo-Persian Empire, and now they're no more, and the Greeks are the power of the earth. Go ahead.
It says, therefore the he goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up four notable ones toward the four winds of heaven.
Right now, that's talking about Alexander dying, okay, and his Diadochi. It's like it. Yeah. Alexander dying, and his four generals, the four Diadochi, coming up in his steed. All right, Ptolemy, Seleucus, Antigonus, and Lysimachus. All right, you want to get that in Maccabees?
Yeah. First Maccabees chapter 1. I'm trying to turn that shit off.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, we're still going.
1 and 5. Okay. This is First Maccabees chapter 1 and start at verse 5. It says, and after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore,
Started like 3.
Shit. Oh yeah, we did say something about going.
Yeah, started like 3.
This,
started.
Start at the top.
Started 1. Started 1.
First Maccabees 1 verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead.
There you go. Exactly what we just said here for Daniel 8 and 7 is First Maccabees 1 and 1. Go ahead.
The first over Greece, and made many.
The first over Greece. Remember that. The first over Greece. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just jump the gun. This is Daniel 8 and 21. It says, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia. The great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Mm-hmm. Read that one more time.
It says, and it happened that after Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
Right, the first over Greece, because his father, Philip, was Philip of Macedon. He only reigned over Macedonia. Mm-hmm. Okay. Alexander ruled over all of Greece and expanded the Greek empire. All right, go ahead.
And made, verse 2, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth.
Right. He expanded his empire from all the way clear out west to almost India. Good.
And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die.
And it's important that you pay attention to what he said. He said, and he took over all those countries and they became tributaries unto him. That's how you get vassal states. That's how you get independent countries coming under the rule of one country. They're paying tribute. Just like how America has 50 states. They're all independent states, but they're all United States of America. You know, you pay your state tax, then they take that and it goes to, the government or however that works, But basically, it's a little state within a bigger entity, and we're going to get into that when we go into Revelations. But just
and you have different governors in different states,
right? You have You have different rulers set up. You have a governor of Nebraska, a governor of Iowa, a governor of Florida, right? And they come together in a cabinet in the what's called the Senate, you know, which was set up in the time of the Greeks, and you have the House of Representatives, you know, and they make all the laws and the rules for the land, but they still answer to the president, to the executive branch.
Yeah.
So that would be, you know, the island of Crete, and you know you might have Macedonia, you might have Italy, and they have their own independent ruler, but they all answer to Alexander.
Right.
Okay.
So, we at verse 6, First Maccabees 1-6. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and he had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
Right. So when Alexander got sick, he parted his kingdom. He didn't give it to his son. It's like he gave it to his 4 generals. Go ahead.
So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
Yeah, and then that's when it really got bad, because greed. Everyone wanted more. Everyone wanted power. Everyone wanted to be the man.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to be, the next Alexander. So, pretty much 4 friends who were friends from the youth became mortal enemies.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just them. You had other generals, but these were the main characters, the main cast of characters, so to speak.
It says, and there came out of, so like it says, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Right. So you had Antiochus come out of that. So with Antiochus coming out of that, we're gonna hold on Antiochus, but yeah, that's really the point. That's the point. So let's hop into back in verse 8, Daniel 8:8.
This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 8. It says, therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken. And for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven.
Right, so that's, Alexander dying and the 4 Diadochi, the 4 generals taking over. Okay.
And out of one of them came forth a little horn, and waxed exceeding great toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the pleasant land.
Right, and that little horn is that same wicked root that was spoke about in Maccabees. All right, that's Antiochus Epiphanes, okay, who was one of the worst people of all time, especially to the Israelites. He wasn't like Alexander, who, like I said, treated us fair, I'll say. We're going to get into the deeds of King Antiochus.
Verse 10, it says, and it waxed great even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them.
Yeah, who are the stars? We the stars. We the stars of heaven. It says, and he stamped us into the ground. Now, do your own research, okay? But when you do your research about Antiochus, you'll see how he came through the land, how he turned the people. Matter of fact, let's get it. Verse 41 in Maccabees.
So First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath.
Yeah, so just like how the so-called white man is trying to do a one world order in these times, he was trying to do something similar. he wanted everyone to consent to his religion or to his laws under his rule. He wanted to be that center. Okay. Yeah.
It says,
He said that all the people should be one. Same as the Tower of Babel.
yeah.
You know, he wanted everybody to be under his command, under his leadership.
Yeah. You want to be your God, so you know.
Yeah, he wanted to be. We'll get the definition of epiphanies.
That's my regular definition. Word epiphany.
Was that like a thought or something?
Yeah, that was that one. I'm gonna get epiphanies. Right. Let's see. All right. So go do a Google search. What was the definition of epiphanies? It says epiphanies meaning God manifest or the glorious / illustrious. It is an ancient Greek epithet born of several Hellenistic rulers.
Yeah, so God with us, because he thought that he was God. He was, you know what I'm saying, the hottest thing smoking. I believe they even called him Antiochus Manes or something like that, which was meant like a maniac. He was crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can. Con. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they called him Epimanes, which is the mad. He was crazy. He'd kill you and them niggas too. So, hey, this is the dude that we dealing with. All right, go ahead. Back in Maccabees.
This is First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 43. It says, "Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of..."
Somebody might say, what are you?
Sorry.
It says, "For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifices and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they shall also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation."
Totally go against the scriptures. Your whole way of life uprooted and turned around, ass backwards.
Think about today.
Yeah, this is
Exactly
niggas today.
Exactly what
This
it is, man.
You don't need an Antiochus because niggas is just bugged out.
It says to the verse 49, "To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, he should die."
Yeah, so if you ain't with the program, we just gonna get rid of you. At the end of the day,
Yep.
That's who Antiochus was.
Yep.
All right, now let's jump down to verse 20. I'm already back in Daniel 8.
This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 20.
Because remember, he started at verse 24. So we're just giving you the full context of what the scripture is actually speaking about. Go ahead.
This is Daniel 8.
Man, you see how it says the ram's identity. So it's going to let you know who the ram is in Daniel's 8. Go ahead.
Daniel 8, verse 20. "The ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia."
Are the kings of Media and Persia. It's plain. And what? So now in 21 it says the goat. So it's going to let you know the goat's identity. Go Go ahead.
And the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
The king of Grecia, which was who? Alexander. Go ahead.
And the great horn that is between the eyes is the first king.
The first king, King Alexander. We read it in First Maccabees. History backs it up.
Sorry.
Let's just see. For shits and giggles. Who was the first king of Greece? Otto of ancient Greece. What the hell is they talking about? It's almost 18. We gotta. Here we go. Hold on. The Greek. It's almost some 1800s. This is. Oh, there we go. Bear with me, because normally it'll give titles. All right, we're gonna run this first paragraph.
All right, so Alexander III of Macedon says from July 356 BC to June 323 BC, commonly known as Alexander the Great, was a king of the ancient Greek kingdom of Macedon. He succeeded his father Philip II to the throne in 336 BC at the age of 20, and spent most of his ruling years conducting a lengthy military campaign throughout Western Asia and Egypt. By the age of 30, he had created one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Greece to northwestern India. He was undefeated in battle and is widely considered to be one of history's greatest and most successful military commanders. He said the first one. Just the first.
Yeah. So I mean, he says that he stretched from Greece to India. All right, one of the largest empires. All right, but it says that he was the king of the ancient Greek kingdom of Macedon. So let me see, ancient Greece. Yeah, here we go. Run that first paragraph, Uncle Shot.
So ancient Greece says ancient Greece was a northwestern Mediterranean civilization existing from the Greek Dark Ages of the 12th through 9th centuries BC to the end of the classical antiquity, 600 AD, that comprised a loose collection of culturally and linguistically related city-states and other territories. Most of these regions were officially unified only once for 13 years under Alexander the Great's empire, from 336 to 323 BC
Under Otto's empire?
under Alexander the Great's empire.
Right, under Alexander the Great, the first king of Greece. All right.
So let's read it again.
21?
Yeah, Daniel 8, verse 21, it says, "And the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
All right, Alexander the Great.
Now that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power."
Notice every time it mentions Alexander the Great, immediately following it, it speaks about the 4 winds. The four. It has a algorithm of 4 because his 4 generals came after that. All right, it's just what happened in history, and this is before. All right, this is before it even took place. So this is Daniel prophesying of Alexander the Great, or the Greek freak, before the Greek even freaked.
It says, verse 23. This is where they started at.
Right.
It says, in the latter time of their kingdom,
In the latter time of our kingdom,
in the latter time of their kingdom,
possessive. Who is the there? They can't see the pen. Who is the there in this kingdom? Okay, it's talking about Grecia. So in the latter time of the kingdom of the Grecians, not in the latter time in Esau's kingdom, or in the world kingdom, or in our kingdom, or in any other kingdom, in the latter time of their kingdom. Okay, go ahead.
When the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up.
Well, let's go back, because when we were in verse 8, and we talked about the he-goat waxing very great, and then the 4 notable ones came up, and then the little horn, it mentions Antiochus Epiphanes. So it only makes sense when it starts talking about latter time in the same kingdom, a fierce king coming up. We just read to you in Maccabees how fierce Antiochus Epiphanes was. So much that they nicknamed him Epimanes, a madman.
It says, "And understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power."
But not by his own power. Right? He wasn't mighty because he was mighty. He was mighty because the Lord made him mighty. All right? We had to be punished, all right, for our iniquities. So he sent his sword, which is Esau, in the place of Epiphanes, to take us down at that time. Go ahead.
It says, "And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people."
And that's exactly what he did. Okay, he destroyed us. We had to rebel against him. All right, he destroyed the temple. All right, he polluted the sanctuary. It was not a good time to be an Israelite.
Yeah, what they do to the women that was circumcising their children, they would kill them. Man.
Yeah,
So yeah, he was a terror, man. He was a fucking unbearable terror to the nation of Israel, man.
Hey, through the Spirit, we're just coming out of Hanukkah. This is where the holy day of Hanukkah is, from this time period.
Right.
All right. So now that we got the Daniel's part, okay, understood, let's get into the Revelation part, because he butchered that as equally as much.
This is Revelation 13, verse 1. "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea."
Right. So, go ahead.
"Having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy."
Right. So he stood upon the sands of the sea and saw a beast rise out of the sea. The sea is talking about people. Okay. Can you get that in Revelation 17?
Okay.
Like 17 and 15 or something like that.
So Revelation 17 in verse 15, it says, "And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues." And
Right. So the sands of the sea is talking, or the sea is talking about people. All right. So when it says they saw a beast rise out of the sea, it's talking about people rising up above other people. All right, and this beast that is mentioning, it's not an actual animal. It's not an alien or some creature. All right, it's talking about a group of people, Edomites. Okay, NATO and the EU to be specific. Okay, Edomite-led countries, and they're who's at the top right now. Job 9:30. The earth is given. Uh, 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So these are the wicked that are ruling the earth right now. Okay, said there's having 7 heads and 10 horns. Well, let's get a visual. All right, come on. Here we go. Right, so the 7 heads being Germania Major, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, Germania Minor, the British, and the Greeks. Okay, that's the 7 heads, and then the 10 horns. Now today, well, let me see. So this is Europe. 2 maps of Europe, 2 ancient maps of Europe. All right, and we have the names that that these places were inhabited back in the time of the ancient Roman Empire. All right. So in today, hold on. So in today is Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Ireland, England, and West Germany. That's what you would know it as today. But back in those times, the 10 horns are the Vandals, the Ostrogoths, the Alemanni, the Franks, the Visigoths, the Burgundians, the Lombards, the Anglo-Saxons, the Sueli, and the Hureli. Okay, so, and I couldn't find one with all of them on here, but if you go take a screenshots, and you'll see, the Lombards, Ostrogoths, Franks, Saxons, the Hueli, the Visigoths, uh, so on and so forth. So that's, and these are all Edomite lands till today. All right, that's the 7 heads and the 10 horns. All right, it's just people set up to do what? What are all these people coming together for? What is NATO about? All right, NATO is set up to combat the other major power on the earth, which was communism, which is what? The USSR, Russia. All right, that's why they have the North Atlantic Treaty Association. So, matter of fact, let me get something. Perfect. So the blue countries are NATO countries, and you see the red right here. There's a reason for that, all right? Because when NATO first formed, there was a treaty saying, "Hey, don't get too close. You want to bring all these countries in, that's fine. Y'all do what y'all do, but just don't get on my doorstep." And now look at them. You got, I believe this is either Finland or Sweden. That's Finland. Yeah, that's Finland. Kind of. You got Finland, and then all your little Netherlands and all these Poland and all of these little small countries right here, and then you have a hotbed, which is Ukraine, right here on the border. You got Turkey, which is right there on the border. All these countries, they're enclosing in on Russia. All right, because everything is set up for this World War III. Everything is set up for it. All right. Now, Russia isn't one of these 7 heads or these 10 horns, even though it is an Edomite-led area. But we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Just wanted to give clarification to the uh to the 7 heads and the 10 horns.
Okay. So back in Revelation 13, verse 2, it says, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear."
Yeah, so it said that the beast I saw was like unto a leopard. All right, speaking about the Greek Empire. All right, and matter of fact, hold on, bear with me. Well, going back into what we were just talking about, Alexander. Alexander was the first king of the Greek Empire. He's represented as the leopard. He wore, matter of fact, we can get the picture. That's the spirit. I didn't even say it. You know what I'm saying? But it's many pictures of him being cast in leopard. He had the leopard helmet. Look, even that went to Daniel 7, because Daniel 7 talks about the leopard. Come on, so that's who we're speaking about. It's not. It's elements from ancient Greece. Well, is this the element that they took? The leopard helmet?
Think about it, brother. The helmets are made of elements. Man, really? It says, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear."
Right, and the feet of a bear, which is speaking. This is speaking about Russia, okay? Because as the elders before us have said, the feet is the end of a thing. All right, and America Russia is going to be the end of this rulership, of this Edomite rulership, via the World War III. Okay, go ahead.
And his mouth, as the mouth of a lion.
Mouth of the lion representing Great Britain. All right, hold up, let me see. Great Britain has always been represented as a lion. A lion is the royal, the regal, okay, and that's just always been a animal that's been associated with Great Britain, and it's not a coincidence, okay.
And reading on, it says, "And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority."
Yeah, man, it's like it. The Roman Empire, that's the dragon that gave him his power, man, which basically is the power source to this beast system. All right, that's where it all started. All right, it started with the Greeks, and then it transitioned into the Roman Empire, and the Romans kicked it off. All right, matter of fact, you can read 3 with it.
It says, "And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast."
Yeah, so how was his deadly wound, or how was he wounded unto death? Because the Roman Empire fell.
Right.
But but the wound was healed because the Roman Empire is back today via America. Remember, America is Babylon, it's Egypt, it's Sodom and Gomorrah, it's Rome, all over. It's all these places in one, because it takes on the elements. No. Now you can say that because it actually does take on the elements of all these kingdoms. It actually does take on the energy of Sodom and Gomorrah with all the alphabet activity. I'll say it takes on Egypt because of the slavery. It takes on look at the Roman buildings, the interstate system, the highway system. All right, the same legislation and all that, man.
Bro, Rashad, can I get this?
Go ahead.
Jumping down to the very same chapter, just to give a land back what the brother's saying. Revelation 13, verse 11 through 12 says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed."
Kind.
Because like it said back in verse 3, it says, "And all the world wandered after the beast." So a lot of these things that Rome was doing, like going back, like he went into the what is it called? Because it said the 2 horns, which is what, the Democrats and
the Democrats and the Republicans, the plebeians and the patricians.
So pretty much just bringing that right on back. That's why it says the world wandered after it. You know what I'm saying? They follow it. They believe it. You know what I'm saying? Which they don't, like the brother mentioned earlier, you got to do your own studies. You go to your studies and you see that, okay, they just pretty much reviving Rome.
It's a remix.
That's pretty exactly the remix. But this is the Diddy remix.
Right. Take that.
Yep. That was it to that, bro.
Yeah. I think that's it, bro. Is there anything else that Nasty Nate went into? It's gonna take me from my spot that we were at. So we're gonna.
Somebody might say, "What are you doing?" Because that's what he was doing. Hey, what are you doing in your school when you at?
Yeah, that was it.
E equals MC squared.
When you say things, you had paused it like that. That's what he's doing. He's conniving, bro. You teaching. You ain't teaching the right thing, brother.
Come on.
But we're gonna leave it be. This nigga.
Put these elements together, you could create an atom bomb. That's what it did with Oppenheimer, and from Oppenheimer it just went on. Everybody understand that?
Daniel chapter 8, verse 24. And his power shall be mighty.
That's it. Hey, so I don't have nothing to say about this guy.
Hey, one thing is, the scriptures say we are defenders of the gospel, man. Because the statement that you made earlier, and then we can close out. If you don't know what's going on scripturally and you listen to Nate, you will be fooled. You will be fooled, and this is a primary example of why we are to defend the gospel at all costs. Because
at the end of the day, our whole purpose is to persuade men righteously, to get the information out to the people. And when you have people, wolves in sheep's clothing, leading people astray, a right doctrine has to go out. So these videos are necessary. When they come out and they say that the MOTB isn't the CHIP, we have to put out the information concerning that it is. When they say, Esau's gonna rebel in the kingdom, we have the correct doctrine.
Jeez. That's outrageous.
But hey, Lord's word, this was edifying, and I'll give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the 4 corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, the men, the women, and the children who follow. Shalom.
Shalom.